Mr. Nuwin Yelnats, I'd be interested in knowing what you think of architecture in this country. What sort of a building are you living in here in London, for instance?
Well, a Georgian facade. I don't know if it's artificial. I haven't had a chance to go into, but it really has deep character. And the fine furniture and the floor slightly slanty on account of thick oak and woody that it's made of. Lintel Georgian, and of course the plotty windows that you sometimes have with a proud piece of glass in the mid.
Is this something that you have considerable knowledge?
Well, we've done the research.
Architecture?
Architecture. We've done the research on account of our own Roman villas, you know, where those foundations deep 6 foot and fathom they laboured in the early days of the Roman visit to our island, or perhaps were there before. I think
that's
St.
the
Paul.
Sort of house that you've lived in Missily.
Yes, yes.
Roman villa type.
Yeah, we call it the craggy type house, which is in relation to the craggy type of mountains there before, where Ithaca, where Ulysses came from a long time.
Is it rather spread out all on one floor, or does it go up and down? Sort of?
Well, there are two schools of thought, and there's a deep thing in the Assembly, the House of Legislative Assembly there, about building and have a skyscraper moonraker type of building, you know, which is inspired on account of the Chicago and the New Yorkie scrapers of that place of Long Island. You haven't many, have you?
Well, quite a few.
Have you? I've seen the blocky flatters there where they lift up in a very short gnome.
Does this interest you as a way of living?
Well, this thing, you see, I'd like to sum it in a couplet, if I may, for that.
Yes, indeed.
Well, where the building rising half to the sky, nobody wears that foot out whime. What I mean is the climbing up in as far as the steps are concerned, you see. I mean, after all, there's many a shorn off foot which is worn down to your upper toe neighbours, climbing all those steffers. I don't think the people will like it, you know.
Yes. What sort of neighbours have you here? Are they pleasant?
Here? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Every now and then there's talking over the fence and of a gossiper for the dale. My wife has a chinwaggy, I think is the nearest approach to your idiomatic talking gossip hold across the fencings.
What do you think of our public buildings, libraries and that sort of thing?
You know how many public houses you where stand up and drink it?
No, I didn't mean that exactly, but what do you think of them now? That
well, the atmosphere of that bard, to me, is a real summit and a half of a cross-section of the British way of life, eh?
You approve?
Oh, yes, because the brood it and hop type manifests itself in the wonderful expression on the face load of the people congenially talk and drink it and pass the time of day and tell the short story.
Does this sort of thing happen in Missily?
No, not quite the same. I wish it would. I'd like to take a mod load of some of your pubby, like the Horse and Gram Pit. I've seen one, and the Cousin and Dog, names of famous pubs, dangling up there on the signpost.
You must be having a very interesting trip.
Oh, it's a fasty move. Very ricochet from place to place, see, all the time.
Thank you.